Prepare to dive into one of the most terrifying and intriguing mysteries presented to us by the Bible. The Leviathan, a colossal and frightening creature, remains an enigma that evokes both fear and fascination to this day. For centuries, the Leviathan has been the subject of intense debates and almost obsessive interest from various religions and even science. Imagine a beast so monstrous that, if it were ever to be unleashed, there would be absolutely nothing we could do to stop it. This is exactly what the scriptures suggest. What else does the Bible reveal about this ancient being? What dark secrets lie hidden in the depths of its sacred pages? As we explore these texts, one question becomes inevitable. If we, mere mortals, are completely powerless against this creature, who will have the power to defeat the Leviathan? Could it be that only divine intervention on the Day of Judgment will be able to put an end to this terrifying threat? In this video, we will delve deeper into the scriptures and unveil the mysteries surrounding the Leviathan. Prepare yourself, because by the end of this video, I will present real recordings that could completely change your perspective on the Leviathan. Imagine hearing sounds that seem to emanate from the depths of the abyss, captured in mysterious and disturbing recordings. These sounds, which many believe to be proof of the existence of colossal creatures hidden in the most remote and unexplored places on our planet, will be revealed to you. The Leviathan is a mythological entity mentioned in the Bible, specifically in the Old Testament. It is described as an enormous sea monster, symbolizing the chaos and destruction of the entire world. To delve deeper into this topic, we need to go back to the beginning of everything, to the book of Genesis, where it is suggested that God created this being on the fifth day of creation, as written in Genesis chapter 1, verse 21. And God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. This verse contains a real invitation to delve deeper into this text, as it is written that it is hidden in the water and asleep, as stated in the book of Job chapter 3, verses 7 to 8. May those who are ready to awaken the Leviathan awaken it. Imagine for a moment if it moved, if it appeared. It is written that it could put the world in danger or worse, destroy it. The Leviathan is related to the future, to the end of days, but also to the beginning. It is written that this Leviathan is in the water, hidden in it. This is important because water has a significant symbolic representation, as stated in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. The fact that it is hidden in the water also speaks of something concealed from the beginning. Did you know that the Bible tells us that in the beginning there were two Leviathans, but one was annihilated? How is this possible? Psalm 74, verses 13-14, says that when God divided the sea with his strength, he destroyed sea creatures, and among them the Leviathan, crushing its heads and giving it as food to the beasts of the desert. Note how it mentions heads of the Leviathan, indicating that it was a type of animal with multiple heads. The Leviathan is, without a doubt, one of the most fascinating and mysterious figures in mythology. Its origin is lost in antiquity, and its meaning transforms according to context and perspective. The Leviathan invites us to reflect on the role of God, man, and nature in the world, and on the boundaries between good and evil, order and chaos, reality and fantasy. It is also said that another Leviathan will be defeated by God on the Day of Judgment. In the book of Job, the Leviathan is specifically described as a monster that we would not even want to contemplate. It is clearly named as an immense creature that we could only imagine. In chapter 41, verses 1-2, we read, "Can you draw out Leviathan with a hook, or snare his tongue with a line which you lower? Can you put a reed through his nose, or pierce his jaw with a hook? Could you play with him as with a bird, or leash him for your maidens? Would your companions make a banquet of him? Would they apportion him among the merchants? Can you fill his skin with harpoons or his head with fishing spears? Lay your hand on him. Remember the battle, never do it again. No one is so fierce that he would dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand against me? These allusions seem terrifying, but what do they really refer to? The Bible literally describes a colossal creature, a dragon that cannot be captured by anyone. In the book of Job, chapter 41, verses 18-21, it says that its sneezes throw out flashes of light, and its eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of its mouth go burning lights, sparks of fire shoot out, smoke goes out of its nostrils, as from a boiling pot, and burning rushes. Its breath kindles coals, and a flame goes out of its mouth. On earth there is nothing like him, which is made without fear. He beholds every high thing. He is king over all the children of pride. If you want to know more about its description, look for chapter 41 of the book of Job. Then we know that we could not even see it, because we would faint. How will this Leviathan be defeated? For this we need to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 27, verse 1. In that day the Lord with his severe sword, great and strong, will punish Leviathan the fleeing serpent, Leviathan that twisted serpent, and he will slay the reptile that is in the sea. This writing leads us to ask, does God have a sword? The answer is yes, the sword of God is his own word, as it is written in the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of God is living and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of soul and spirit, and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. In the epistle to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 17, it also speaks of his word as a sword. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Thus God, on that day, will end the Leviathan with just his word. It would have no chance against its creator. According to the Holy Scriptures, this topic continues to generate much discussion. Could a creature of such magnitude exist? And if so, where could this enormous beast hide? It is written that the Leviathan is alive in the depths of the sea. In the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 26, where King David speaks about the sea, there the ships sail about. There is that Leviathan which you have made to play there. As an interesting fact, Antarctica, the fourth largest continent, also known as the frozen continent, is the surface with the most unexplored terrain by humans. Its low temperatures make it an unknown place, and of the few things that are known, there are terrifying records still unknown today, such as the case of Julia, the name given to a strong sound coming from Antarctica on March 1, 1999, according to the NOAA. For this sound, the origin is unknown, but it is speculated that it was caused by a giant iceberg that broke off and fell into the sea. Next, I will let you hear this strange sound. Leave your opinion in the comments. I advise using headphones. Undoubtedly, we know very little about existence, and it is not far-fetched to think that a colossal creature beyond our comprehension could exist. Beyond its mentions in the Bible, the figure of the Leviathan has fascinating parallels in other cultures and mythologies around the world. In Norse mythology, for example, we find the Kraken, a monstrous cephalopod of the sea that terrorized sailors. Like the Leviathan, the Kraken symbolizes the indomitable and chaotic power of the oceans. In Babylonian mythology, Tiamat is a sea goddess who represents primordial chaos. Tiamat is often described as a dragon or sea serpent, similar to the Leviathan. Her defeat by Marduk, the god of storms, mirrors the biblical narrative where God defeats the Leviathan at the end of time. These connections show that the idea of a gigantic and terrifying sea monster is a constant in various cultures, reflecting universal human fears about the unknown and the indomitable power of nature. By understanding these mythological figures, we can gain a richer and more diverse view of the role of the Leviathan in the Bible and in human imagination. Another terrifying case is the sound nicknamed train. This name was given to a sound on March 5, 1997, by the Sonic Surveillance System, according to the NOAA. This sound possibly comes from a large ice mountain in contact with the seafloor of the Ross Sea in Antarctica. It has a sound similar to a train. Listen for yourself. This sound was very controversial, as it originated a mysterious noise detected in the depths of the Pacific Ocean, known as Bloop. It was captured by underwater hydrophones, separated by about 32,919 kilometers, and recorded several times, not resembling anything heard before, according to the NOAA. Not only was it a strong sound, but it had a unique characteristic, which became known as bloop. It is speculated that the bloop was the sound of an ice earthquake, an iceberg breaking off and detaching from a glacier in Antarctica. Next, I will let you hear another part of this peculiar sound. There are many other records, but the last one is the sound nicknamed Slowdown. On May 19, 1997, it received this name because the frequency of the sound decreases slowly for about 7 minutes, according to the NOAA. This sound is caused by the movement of ice on the seafloor of Antarctica. Listen next. It is incredible to think that unknown creatures exist, as after all we know only 5% of the ocean's volume, meaning 95% of the sea is a mystery. Also, regarding marine creatures, we know only a third. What is clear to us is that God will defeat the Leviathan in our final time, as said at the beginning. It is a subject of conversation and debate for many people. And you, what do you think about this? If you liked this video, then subscribe to the channel now to never miss any incredible story. Your like is very important to us, as it helps us reach more people with these powerful messages. Comment below your opinion and share this video with friends and family. See you in the next video. God bless you.